ER, you need to get checked out.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And we have been busy in the kitchen. So if you caught the last video, you saw part of our Azure Standard haul. Well, there's a lot of carrots and a lot of celery
50
in there.
pounds of carrots.
50 pounds of carrots and 30 bushels of celery. So we have been spending the past 2 days, mainly her, because I've been on meetings. I did not want to take any credit. She's been working her butt off. Canning carrots and freeze-drying celery. So we thought it would be good, because I don't think we've ever done a canning video on carrots.
I think so.
It's super simple to do. We're going to give you the breakdown. It does require pressure canning, not water bathing, but we're going to give you a rundown on how to do it.
The canning part is the most simple thing you'll ever do. It's the
Yeah.
easiest canning in the world. It's the peeling and the chopping and the washing that takes forever.
Yeah.
I'm orange.
Yeah, and so we'll show you some of those clips of us doing all of that. Again, primarily her, and then we'll get into the canning. Alright, first things first, like she said, you want to peel all the carrots. That all go to the chickens and animals. They'll really enjoy that, but you want to get everything peeled up. Okay, so for our carrots, and really any style that you want to do, there's a lot of different ways that you can can carrots, right, babe?
There's only two.
There's only two. So we are doing raw canning these carrots, which means we're not cooking them first. We are just washing, cutting, putting them in the jars with hot water, hot jars, and then into the pressure canner that way. So we've got our carrots. She's getting ready to start washing them, and then we've got a whole bunch of water starting to warm up because we are going to be doing several. She is actually already writing the ones we did yesterday. It was 14, wasn't it?
Yep, 14 quarts.
14 quarts. So we need a lot of water to fill them up, because you're going to fill them up to an inch headspace. So now let's get to chopping. Well, it's been a few hours later. Carbon monoxide detector went off. Daggone gas burner.
Yeah.
I about passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just wild. Anyways, long story short, we have basically a faulty burner. It was on and it put itself out, and we had the big water bath canner on top of it. Couldn't tell, right? You didn't know that it was out. And we have a detector right here in our kitchen because of the gas stove. And it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, again, like I said, long story short, we had the fire department come out, and
Well, we immediately left the house.
Yes, we all got out.
We don't even know if it went out. We didn't check to look because we just ran outside.
I just turned the burner off,
Yeah.
right? Because I just assumed that that's where it was coming from. But the gas company came out, the fire department came out, and checked everything, and the house is fine now. And there's no leaks, and the battery died that time. So, good day. Going well. It's really going well. But anyways, the whole point of us telling you all that, because we could have just not told you it, right, is if you are using the gas stove, make sure you're checking it. Make sure you, and very much make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector in your kitchen.
It's a very serious thing that can go south very quick.
Yeah, the reason that I almost passed out was because I was yelled at the kids to come out, and then the alarm went off, or our alarm, people called. Should have just left it alone. But I was trying to tell them that we're fine, not emergency, and then I got a little lightheaded, but I immediately went outside. I feel fine now. Everything's perfectly fine. Tell the fire department too. They didn't seem too worried about it. But no, I'm good to go, and now we are finally going to finish these carrots. Okay, so this is kind of what Jen was talking about. This is what 25 pounds of carrots look like cut up. This is a really big bowl. These are two small bowls. It's not a whole lot. You think
That's
that you're
why
going
I got 50 pounds.
Yeah, that's how she got 50 pounds. It's going to end up making us about 28 quarts though, right?
Yes.
Which is
14 per batch.
Yeah,
25 pounds for 14 quarts.
Yeah, 25 pounds for 14 quarts, and we're going to have a total of about 28. But if you truly think about that...
Okay, craziness ensued again. In the middle of trying to record that clip for you all, Zach got to feeling worse. He didn't feel good at all. He felt like his chest was doing weird stuff. He was having a hard time breathing. So we stopped immediately. I said, you just need to go to the ER. You need to get checked out. Like, there's no sense in here. And there's no sense in us sitting here saying, well, I should be okay, or, you know, you might be fine. It should be out of your system. You just need to go get checked. So he did. I stayed here with the kids and just put the carrots on hold. They're fine. I've got them jarred up. I've got lids on so they're not going to get, you know, the nasty texture. But anyway, he's there. He's getting checked out. So far, they have taken his blood to check for levels of poisoning if there is any. They did an EKG. They put him on oxygen, and they're checking his blood pressure, and they did an x-ray of his chest. I'm not sure what the x-ray is for. Maybe just preventative. I don't know. But he is okay. I mean, he feels okay. He feels relieved that he's there. I think that he's getting checked out. And we're just kind of sitting here on pins and needles waiting. But I think everything's going to be fine. It's just kind of a peace of mind going to get checked out and making sure that he's okay. So I'm glad he's there doing that. And we will update you, I'm sure, in this video when he gets home.
I'm not dead. I'm back. So I was been at the ER for the past 3 hours. I did have high levels of CO in my system. Abnormally high, more than they wanted to see. So they pumped a bunch of oxygen in me and monitored me until my levels started going back down. They took my blood a few times over the course of those hours to watch the levels, but I am fine, thankfully. So all is good. That's scary though. Did you tell them it freaked me out because we were sitting there filming and it like I got lightheaded again.
I think I'm gonna get rid of the gas stove.
It's crazy. Okay. Anyways, we're now continuing to can, and she is adding the water into the jars with an inch headspace.
Yep, this is just boiling water. I'm gonna make sure it comes to a boil so it's good and clean, and then you fill it up to an inch headspace.
All right. All right, once you get it up to a head or an inch headspace of water, tell them what you're doing, babe.
I am taking my butter knife. Well, first off, I'm eating any that are too full.
Because you got to.
Yep. And then I'm taking my butter knife and I'm just going down the sides and getting all the air bubbles out.
It's called debubbling, right? All right, so you want to do that for each one of them.
But as you're going, you can, you know, assess if any are too full or not.
And also water levels as well, because sometimes there's gaps, and that like reveals them, and the water will sink a little too. So yeah, good point.
Okay, so doing vegetables this way, you're not pickling. You do have to use a pressure canner. So this is the All-American. We've got a few inches of water in our pot, but since we are raw packing, you do not want to put boiling water. You don't want to bring your water to boiling. That's dinner. Don't look at that. You don't want to bring the water up to a boil. You just want it to be warm because you don't want to shell shock your jars. So these are all debubbled, and now we're going to start putting our lids on. Okay, so lids are brand new. Our rings are used, but that's okay. They're in very good shape, so you don't have to worry about that. Put your little lid on. Put your ring on fingertip tight. No tighter than that.
Eating more carrots. Alright, once you get all 14 done, this is the 930 pressure canner, so we're actually going to be double stacking, so it'll be 7 quarts on the bottom and 7 quarts on top. All right, Jen just got everything tightened up. Slide them in there without you. There you go. There you go. Back of it. So now we're just gonna do our 10-minute vent, but because it was a raw pack and it wasn't like everything's super hot, it's gonna take a minute. But don't worry, you'll see your good steam. All right, you might be able to hear it. You probably won't be able to see it, but you can put your hand over and feel the steam coming out nice and steady. And so now it is time to put on our weight. All right, for carrots, she ran for 30 minutes jiggling, and as soon as we hit the timer, we turned the power completely off, you know, so carbon monoxide doesn't go in your house. Too soon. No, I'm just kidding. But now we're gonna let this go all the way down, let it sit, and then we'll take that off. All right, while the pressure canner is going down, Jen, while I was in the ER, went ahead and got our celery out of the freeze dryer, and so that is the first 4 bundles, and now I just cut up our next round, and so that's going in the freeze dryer. What a freaking day.
What a week.
What a week. Okay, so we have, what, 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have 5 quarts left.
There they are.
There they are. It is 9 o'clock at night.
Feels like it's about midnight.
We're still waiting on the pressure to come down to take those out. So that means we would be looking at around 11 or midnight for Ben. I don't think
If we were going to pressure can it.
I don't think we're feeling that.
Yeah.
So I had the idea. It's something I've never done before, but I wanted to try. We ferment a lot of foods. I've never fermented carrots, but I want to try it. So I have 5 quarts. I'm going to try to ferment.
Yeah.
Instead of putting them back in the pressure canner.
Which I am very pro for. So it's very easy to do that. How much? It's just the water, the carrots, and how much salt?
2 teaspoons per quart. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because it's 1 teaspoon per pint, 2 pints in a quart. So 2 teaspoons of salt per quart.
Yeah.
So that's simple. Let's do it real quick. All right, just that simple. They're now in the pantry, and we just put a paper towel underneath because they could bubble and bubble over a little. So yeah, that'll just protect that.
Our pressure is all the way down. It's been sitting for a minute just to let it come to room temperature. Now we're going to take our weight off. I learned yesterday, I knew this, but when you're canning for 3 days in a row, you just like go for the motion. Always use oven mitt because it's very hot.
And low warm, low warm. Okay, we're done.
We're done. So what did you say, 32 quarts?
No,
total?
33.
33 quarts total.
28 canned, 5
fermented.
5 fermenting.
From 50 pounds of organic carrots.
So
that's exciting.
One thing that Jen and I always do whenever we're preserving, we try to count it up within the weeks of the year. So there's 52 weeks in a year. So actually, it's kind of funny. I was telling her, I was like, if it was like really food shortages and stuff, like that's gonna have a good barter price on it, because it's hard for somebody to take up all their growing space to grow root crops, because root crops give you one fruit, where like a tomato plant gives you several. And to be able to grow 50 pounds of carrots, and that still only give you technically 33 weeks if you eat it one time a week, you need a lot of growing space to do that. So it's something that we do recommend purchasing. Grow what you can, but if you really do like carrots, it's something that you really should look into.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to grow carrots this year too. We're getting ready to start ours from seed, and we're going to can those too, but on top of what we purchased is going to be a phenomenal amount of carrots, and that's awesome.
Exactly, because our goal is to always get a year's worth of whatever we're canning.
Yep.
And even at 50 pounds, that wasn't a year's worth.
So it's been a wild week. Today was a wild day. We do not share this experience with you to scare you in any way, shape, or form. It's just one of those things that happens. It's an unfortunate event, but it also is a reminder. So let us go through this and then be able to remind you, watch your stoves. Yeah. If you're cooking or canning on gas or ever using gas, watch your stoves. Make sure that you have your carbon monoxide detectors, your meters that you can read it with. Make sure that you always have that stuff on hand, and make sure you're paying attention. Canning is hard, and sometimes you just want to step away for a second, but don't. Stay with it and make sure that everything's going right. Make sure your burners are on, your flames aren't out, and just be vigilant, I guess, and not to scare you, but learn from our mistake today.
Yeah, exactly. And it was strictly just because we've been using the stove so much. It was running for so long that something just I can't really explain it, but it was seconds, y'all, like seconds. It was out, but because the burner was on high, it was shooting at a high, like full blast gas. It's not like it was on low and it just petered out and it was just low coming out and just minimal amount coming in. You could catch it until you smelled it. So just freak accident, and thankfully we're all safe. I was nervous at the hospital when that second batch hit me. This isn't funny, but it's kind of funny. I immediately thought of Jack on This Is Us. You survived the event, but then later.
Hold on a second. Are you gonna pull a Jack and 10 o'clock at night? You're sick. Let's not do that. Go to the ER now. Even if you feel like you're dumb, just go do it.
Right. And thankfully, we weren't dumb. It was good to go get checked out. My levels were too high, and I needed the oxygen to help push that stuff out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It was it's just shocking and surprising, the whole event of what happened today. But thank you all, because I know it probably crossed your mind throughout this video to say your prayers. I appreciate it. I am fine. If you're watching this, it's the day after, and I'm still kicking. If it's not, she won't post it. So that's, this. We have to laugh. That's kind of how we share emotions a little bit too, even if we were a little shooken up and nerve-wracking. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I don't think I am going to say anything else. Just like she said, be vigilant. Yeah. Pay attention to what you're doing, and make sure to have a CO detector close to any gas items that you have in your home, because I literally think it saved my life, especially in all of our lives today.
Yeah.
So.
And have your appliances checked too. I was reading online today that if you have any gas appliances in your home, have them checked once a year. So we did that today, and that feels good. At this point, we'll probably do it every 6 months.
Right.
And, to be safe.
And we bought a CO detector that the gas guy had. He said, take it around your house and see if it says 0, and as long as it says 0, you're good. So we've already got one of them on the way too, to make sure. And keep checking the house. All right, y'all. I don't know if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that below.
I love y'all.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.